Hi, my name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing CSS Battle Daily Target for August 2nd, 2025. Okay, as always, I like to start off by figuring out the layout of everything first before I even start writing my code, or how I'm going to approach it, I should say. So, this is one of those, if you watch my videos in the past, maybe you've seen me do this, but you know, there's two main ways when I first look at this, I think we could do this. The first is by using flex for everything. You know, set the body to display flex, put this in the middle, set this white square, rectangle, whatever, to display flex, position that inside of it, and then create a container with for these three, a container for these three, a container for these three, set that to flex, and set these all to flex, give them a gap, and that'll get us there. The other way is do all the business with flex, but then make this aqua-ish rectangle display grid and place all these squares in using grid. So what I think I'm going to do today is I think I'm going to solve it both ways, and then we can determine, you know, which one is the least amount of characters and which one, I don't know, we like better, was easier, more intuitive, those sorts of things. Alright, so let's get into it. So let's do flex first. So we're going to need a div for that, div for this, div for this with 3 elements, div for this with 3 elements, and a container div for these, a container div for these, and a container div for these, and of course all the squares inside. I'm expecting that flex is actually going to be less characters and less of a hassle, although I do enjoy doing grid because I'm not as good at it, and it just is more interesting and a challenge for me. Sometimes I find it's just more precise. It's easier to get it more precise. Alright, so there's the A is the white rectangle, B is the aqua rectangle inside of it. This is the first container. Yeah, we're going to have to make them all different. These are the 3 squares inside of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. Set this to E, and then we add one more D inside of it. And then we can just copy this again. Set this to F. Okay. All right, so we got a lot of display flex going on here. So let's take care of that first. We're going to take care of all the kind of shared properties, if you will. So body, A, B, C, E, sorry, yeah, no, it's right, C, E, and F are all going to be display flex. Okay. Then body and B are going to be, or have a background of that. me see here. So B is going to be flex direction column, but everything's going to be centered. So yeah, okay, cool. So these should both be justify content center. Oops, sorry about that. And then A and D, we're going to have a background of the white color. Yep. And now let's look at A. Let's get the width and the height for this. Oh geez, I don't know. The height is something like 260. Width, I don't know. Let's just check 260 to start. I'm not sure what this is. I think 2. Let's go here. Body. Align. Items. Center. Okay, that'll help. Alright, so a little bit less of a height. Let me turn the diff on. Okay, height is correct. It's a little bit more of a width. Perfect. Then let's give it a border radius. Border radius of 10 pixels. Nope. A lot more than that. 20. Yeah. I hate those lines. Whatever, that's close enough. That won't change your score, I don't think. I think that's to be 100%. Cool. Alright, so that's all taken care of. Now let's look at B. The other thing here is A is going to... No. We should put A in here too. And then here, align items center. And now let's try to get B, width and height. So B, width, 240. Height, 200. Both way off. Oh, jeez. It's one of those weird numbers. Did I not check 220 yet? Maybe I didn't. Oh, I didn't. There you go. Okay, so now that's obviously not correct. No, you're right. Okay, so now here, we're going to have to nudge C and F around as well as B. So B, C, and F are all position relative. So now we can go to B and say top 10 or whatever it's supposed to be. That looks, I think yeah, we're good. Cool. All right. So and what I can do here, because there's only one. Oh, no. I think what we can do here is we can put the gap in here, because it looks like this gap and this gap is the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and gap. I'm going to guess a gap of 20 pixels. And then we're going to go, let's make sure, let's get the dimensions of D. That's some funny behavior. Height 20. That is not what I expected to see. That looks more correct. Now, why is this happening? Oh, I know. B has got to be... Did we make B flex? We did. Okay, good. B's got to be flex direction column. Good. And then CEF. CEF are all flex. Why is it not getting a gap? Because we need E in here. Alright. That's looking more like what we want to see. And then we got to go to B and say align items center. Perfect. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. I'm looking at this middle one here. So all the dimensions are cool, all the gaps are cool. All we need to do now is we need to move C to the right a little bit. So C right, I guess 15. This needs to be left. Okay, that's definitely not right. 30. Split the difference. No. There we go. And then we can go to F. Change this to right. And we should be perfect. Cool. Other than those tiny little border issues, or edge issues, I think we're good. All right, let's get everything on one line. This is going to be a pain for this. I think what we can do is just go ahead and highlight all white space using Command D on a Mac. So we'll cut down on your characters, but be careful while you do this. It's easy to accidentally delete something and mess everything up. All right, we're good. Let's go ahead and submit. %, match. Not the greatest score though. Okay, so we got a character count of 587. Let's see what happens when we do grid. I think it's actually going to be worse, but this will be a fun experiment. And I'm just using grid for this, right? Inside this element. So now what we need to do is we're going to need a div, call it A. That's the white rectangle. Here's the aquish rectangle inside of it. Now what we need is we need 7. Wow, I can't count. 10 divs, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these all have to be different because they're all going to be in a different spot. That is one downfall of doing it this way. H I J K L. All right. Let's create our style tag. And so now body and A are both going to be display flex. Both going to be justify content center. Line items center. So now body and B are going to have the background of aqua color and A, and then C through L. Oh, this is going to be a pain. I wonder if there's a better way. No, I gotta do it this way. E F, oh my god. F G H I J K and L. Boy, these all have a background of white color. Always use their color codes, otherwise they get marked down. Okay, what do we need to do next? Well, grab all these. I should have wrote down the dimensions. I don't remember what they are. Width. Yeah. Oh, we don't need to do this. What am I thinking? We don't need to set the width and height for that. Okay, that's fine. All right. I'm thinking way too ahead of the game. Let's just get into it. Let's look at A. What was the height? It was 280. Width was, shows you how good my memory is, way off. Alright, this should be 260, no it shouldn't, 250, there we go. This is other direction, 70 to 80, perfect. And then I believe the border radius back to me. 20 pixels. Okay. Let's get B. B is going to have a width of, let's say 240, height of 200. Way too big. I remember, I'm going to set this to position. Relative top is 30. Just kidding, it was 35. Cool. Now it's going to be easier to set the width and the height. Okay, width is correct now. Height, what was I thinking? The height is less than, way less than that. 160. Oh man. I forgot how to use the top property. Okay. Here we go. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, so now we just got to deal with all that. Okay, so to do this, we can say, first we're going to set display grid. Just delete something. What just happened? That was weird. Looking at B. It's relative. Display grid. What? Oh, I know why. Okay. When you're doing grid, you give your elements background property or a background color, and you leave them in there. Once you set it to grid, they're going to fall into these default positions, right? So we're going to comment them out one by one and position them one by one. All right, so math. Let's think about this. Okay, I'm thinking back to the last thing we did, right? And I think these were a gap of 30, right? So that would mean this gap is 30. So, is it 30 or 20? Oh man, now my brain is failing me. Okay, B's got a width of 220. It's got, let's use this, it's got 4 of these in it. So if these were, I want to say 30 pixels, right? These are 30 pixels, 30, 60, 120, it's 220. I'm going to say these are 40, 80, 160, and then you got these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps. 160. This will be a gap 15. What I'm trying to do here is set up the grid template columns, and I'm trying to use math to just do this without guessing. So, but that might take forever. Alright, let's just do that for now. And then let's comment that. Okay, this is going to help tremendously. Okay, so that first one's off. This needs to be 20. Cool. So by default, this C is just going in the first column. So now we can take C, say grid column 2. So we see that that's too big, so this is 30. All right, good, good. So basically, you're just gonna have this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Cool. And then we don't need to worry about this column over here. So that takes care of the columns. Oops. Let's set up the template for the rows. Template rows. It looks like the top is a little bit less. I want to say it's 15. Once we get this, the rest of it's going to be a piece of cake. That's it. This is a square. We know this is 30. So we can just copy this 3 times. Or just do that 3 times. Copy it 3 times. And okay, I think we have our template up. I think all we need to do now is just get everything in the right spot. So all right, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put this in a different selector because we're going to start lumping these all together as we go along. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is going to be grid row 2. And that's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to have all the columns together. Let's look at D. That's going to be grid column 6. And it's going to have the same grid row as that. Uncomment that. Alright, this will fly by now. Alright, let's look at E. E is going to be same grid row. And then grid column 8. Change it to 8. All right, cool. And then I'm gonna grab these 3, change this to F, G, H, and this might be all we need to do actually, because I think we're gonna get some help with default values on this next line here. G-H-I. Okay, yeah, cool. Comment, nope, no help. Right, because I got the wrong grid row. Ah, no, we're not, because I forgot to use that first one. That's okay. Alright, so now, well, we can start off by doing this. G-H-I. Okay, so G is going to have the same column there. I, G-H-I is going to have this same one. And then F is going to have grid column of 2. Oh no. This needs to be 20. This needs to be 20. Okay, good. Phew. Alright, let's count up the last 3. I'm actually enjoying doing this better than Flex for some reason. don't know why. Maybe it's because we already solved it with flex, so we had some idea of how to do it. All right, so we're going to JKL. Grab this. Oops. Copy that. J. K. L. Grid row of 6. Then J. Almost there. K. And L is going to go here, and we should be good to go. Bam. Perfection. Alright. Much higher character count. Let's see if getting rid of this white space helps at all. I don't think it's going to get it down past... Oof. You're going to have to lose like 400 characters with this white space. And I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see. Delete. Not even close. That's alright. It's a good exercise. Alright, let's go ahead and submit. Okay, score went down, but that worked. Alright, so 2 different ways to solve the same daily target. I always just enjoy doing grid more. I don't know if it's because I'm newer at it and so it makes it more enjoyable or what, but definitely not the optimal approach if you're trying to cut down your characters. Alright, hopefully you found this video enjoyable and helpful. If you did, please like it. It helps my channel to grow. If you'd like to see more like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.